Welcome back to the Real Southern Garden. I'm Sarah, and today I'm taking you on a garden tour that I am so excited to be able to share with you. So I actually toured this garden for the first time back in 2022 when they were on the Cobb County Master Gardeners Garden Tour, and I was able to reach back out to them with the help of another Master Gardener and ask them if we could go and tour and I could film it and share it with all of you guys. And they said yes, and I'm so thankful. Where do I even start? There's so many elements of this property that are absolutely amazing. And like I always say, you know, garden tours, I watched them for years and years and years myself, and I love them. It's where I get my inspiration. I love to see other people that are out there working outside in nature, connecting with nature, building a little oasis, whether it's a large property or a small suburban lot, or maybe it's just a patio. Building something that is yours and making it an escape from the crazy world out there. That is what I absolutely love about garden tours. So anyway, there's something to be learned and gained, in my opinion, from every gardener, no matter if they're gardening on a large space or a small space. This property has so many just absolutely neat things about it. The back gardens that are right off of their kitchen and their back patio is one of my favorite things about the property. They've got beautiful black-eyed Susans back there, fountains, a cute little garden gate, bird feeders, bird houses, and it just sets off the vantage point for the whole property. And then behind that, they've got a barn that is made of reclaimed wood that was milled on the property. I think it was 40 pine trees or so that they took down when they were building the house. So they were able to create this barn out of that. And inside the barn is her art studio, which is just so incredible. Such a neat place to be able to go and paint. And she also does pottery, and she has a little, she can create it right there. I forgot what they call it. It starts with a K, where you burn it and fire it. You know what I'm talking about. And then they've got a stocked pond that's got bass, it's got catfish in it. They've got chickens, they've got goats that they use to clear things when they need to on the property. They've got well water. They've got beautiful front flower beds. And it's just so inspirational. It makes me happy to see other people that have built things that make them happy. Hopefully it'll make you happy too, because that's what it's all about. The world needs more happy. You know what I'm saying? And I think gardening is a big part of that. So sit back, enjoy this tour, and let's head over there right now. Hey guys, I am here today with Kathy, and we are going to tour her beautiful garden. It is out of this world. You're going to love it. She's got so many great things here on this property, and she's a master gardener. She's been doing this for many years, and it's your passion, right?
It is. It is.
Well, I appreciate you having me out today. I know you guys are going to love it, and we're going to get started. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, let's go.
All right, so we're going to start off at the back gardens, the patio gardens, as I call them. There's their sweet little dog. And this is, like I said, one of my favorite spots on their property because you can sit here and really take in the entire vantage point of everything that they have going on here. The barn in the back, the gorgeous pond on the right. I love these gold black-eyed Susans that she has clustered here on the left. They make such an impact planted that way. She's got some really fabulous Japanese maples in this garden bed. Such a good use of texture here. The creeping Jenny, of course, it looks almost like a flowing creek going through these flower beds. I love the way that looks as a ground cover. She's got a gorgeous fountain back in the back corner, and I've got a close-up shot of that coming up. She has some really interesting containers with some different plant combinations. There's some vinca there in the back, some succulents. In your left corner, a little cactus there. And I just love the different things that they have in this back garden. And to have this off your back kitchen so you can sit here and enjoy the rest of the property, I think is just so smart. There's some pink zinnias right there in the middle. You can really see how just popping in a few annuals really adds a lot to a garden bed. And I like the interesting shape of this Japanese maple right here. I've got the variety coming up. I'm not even gonna try to pronounce it, but you can read it right there on the screen. And by the way, if there is any plant that you see or shrub that you're really interested in, let me know in the comments what that is, and I will try to find the name for you. There are so many wonderful things in this garden, too many to list, but if there is a plant that you're interested in, like I said, and you want to know what it is, just drop me a comment and I will do my best to find out exactly what it is for you. And I really love the little garden gate that they have chose, and they have painted it brown so it really blends in with the scenery. And also, brown is a great color because it doesn't get dirty like white, or you have like a white garden fence, it shows a lot of dirt and there's a lot of constant upkeep with the white color, but this brown is really looking good. I love that. And then here is a look at this little fountain. I think this is such a great choice for this space. It's just so peaceful. And then I've got to pan around and show you this goose that's over here taking a swim today. And then also pay attention to the neat little bird houses and bird feeders and that kind of art that she has hanging. I think that it adds so much appeal to a garden. Lots of good ideas here for different things that you can use. There's another little birdhouse there in the back. And I just love bringing wildlife into a garden space. And it is a great way to do it with these cute little birdhouses. There's another Japanese maple over here on the left corner in front of the black-eyed Susans. There's some daylilies mixed in there. Of course, the creeping Jenny. She's got some fluffy ferns over there and the planters. And then we're going to back up and I want to show you this little table. Just a quick look at this table. This was a table that somebody was just throwing away and getting rid of. And Kathy refinished it and made it such an awesome outdoor table. I think it's beautiful because it's weathered. It's been through some things and it is still beautiful. So I love special pieces like that. And then on the back wall, so this is their little table where they can sit that's under the awning. This piece right here belonged to her family, and it is like a bistro, like a European bistro type place, and just a really neat piece of art. And then of course, we've got a grill because you've got to have a grill. And then on the far side, I'm going to try to show you this corner. She has some hydrangeas back here, probably limelights. I think that is what those are, growing back there in the back nook. And they really do a great job. Those are not limelights. I'm looking at it. They look like they have a little bit of blue color to them. There's so many varieties of hydrangeas. It is tough to know which one is which, but they really do add some height back there against the wall of the house. And I love those in that location. All right, and now we're gonna head back out of that little garden gate and we're gonna go around to the front of the house, and I'm gonna show you the side gardens here. This is Fire Chief Arborvitae, and Kathy said it just turns a beautiful shade of red in the fall. Fire Chief Globe Arborvitae. And a great one to add to your flower bed for some fall color, and they're really looking nice in the summer too. This is Sedum right here, also one of our favorites, Sedum Autumn Joy. And then she's got some evergreens planted along this little side garden. And of course, you can also, if you turn the opposite direction, you get a really good view of the pond from here. And then the front flower bed, there is a really good mixture of color and texture here, and evergreens They have made sure that they have the bones in place so that when it's winter, this front flower bed is still looking beautiful. And I think it's so important. I know you guys hear it all the time on garden channels, but the evergreens really give you structure and give you something to look at even in the wintertime. And then you can build around the evergreens, and it makes it a lot easier to design a flower bed that way. Take a look at how pretty that Creeping Jenny is again as a ground cover here. And then she's got some lamb's ear also in there. A couple daylilies I see. But Creeping Jenny, it's just such a tough plant. You know, it's a great spiller if you're doing a container, but it also works just so well as a ground cover. And it's so easy to find at any big box store. It helps cut down on weeds. It helps cut down on the amount of mulch that you have to use. Definitely a big fan of it. And then check out this plant right here. There's a still shot for you. Pineapple lily is really a neat looking plant. And then there's another Japanese maple layered behind that. And I can only imagine how gorgeous this property is in the fall. And Kathy did mention to me that we could come back in the fall, so hopefully we can do that. And I just think that all the Japanese maples and everything that she has, the fall color, then of course the forest in the background. There are some deciduous trees intertwined with the pine, and I know it would be beautiful in the fall. And then lining the front walk right here, she's got some different annuals that are plugged in, some red and some white. The white always brightens up a space, and they just show up from such a distance. So I love white vinca, or the light pink vinca, of course, look really good too in flower beds. And she's got the light pink, the white, and the red here with the Creeping Jenny in between. What a fabulous job. I'm loving it. I love that they have those little rocking chairs on the right side of the porch. I would just sit there and take all of this in. And then I'm going to swing around and show you a brand new garden bed that they just recently put in. I believe she refers to it as their rock garden, but they've got some really neat things over here as well. And then as you head down the little pathway into the rock garden, there is a bench at the end, which is such a great idea. And I think it's such a good idea to have developed this little space too. So that way when you're sitting on the front porch, you can look at the front flower beds, and then you can see this garden also. Now I'm going to take you back to the back of the property and show you their beehives, their vegetable garden, and the inside of the barn with some of her artwork as well here coming up. So stay tuned for that. But while we were out here in this little rock garden, we were able to see the Canada geese actually escape out of their front gate. And Kathy said that she'd always wonder how they got out. Well, we got to see it today. They literally just duck under and take off across the road. Isn't that funny? And there they go, one by one. Now there is one Canada geese that's kind of a rebel, and he went the other direction instead of going under that gate. Anyway, here is one of their benches that's back here in the rock garden with some beautiful containers on each side and a little birdhouse. And then we're going to head back. There's a lot of hostas back here too. We love hostas. We're going to head back to the backyard of the property. We're going to start on the left side though, and I'm going to show you all kinds of good stuff out there. So we have a little blueberry patch here on the left. They've got fabulous deer fencing around it to keep them nice and safe. And then they have what they call their dirty barn, where they keep their tractor back here in this little shed. This is actually a tulip magnolia tree. I've got a similar one on my property. Mine has been pruned though. It's a little different shape, but I love these trees. They are just so gorgeous in the spring, and they even get a few extra blooms in the summertime, as you can see And then she's got her lettuce patch back here, and it's mostly going to seed. It's just so hot right now in Georgia to grow lettuce. It's really a cool season crop, but the chickens do love it, so you can always save it and feed it to your chickens. And then here's a nice little fig tree. I have a couple figs. They are not producing though. I need to plant a new one just like they have. And here's how it looks from turning around, looking the other direction, so you can see how far we are from the back gardens and the back of the house. And then as you come around the back, there are 19 beehives, and my husband and I have a long-term goal to have some beehives at our house too on our property, but we haven't done it yet. We still got to learn a little more about it. But how inspirational. They have 19, so that's got to be a good amount of honey. Although she did tell me that this year, I think because it's been so rainy early in the summer, that it did have an effect on the honey, and the bees are not able to get the pollen the same way that they normally do because the rain washes it off of the flowers, which is something I had never heard before, but it makes sense. And then coming up here on the right is another part of their vegetable garden. And I gotta say, I love the way those beehives are painted. They're like part of the garden art on this property. I love the colors. So they grow corn back here. She had cucumbers, just a little bit of everything. That other veggie garden patch that we just panned by had some beans in there. You know, different things obviously take off at different times. And Kathy, and actually I should say Kathy and John, because her husband is a big part of this garden and property also, but they really do make sure to eat seasonally and enjoy what the garden has to offer at different times of the year, which I think is so important. And then the border flower beds back here have a mixture of different things. She's got some camellias on that far side, not on this side. There's some hydrangeas tucked in back there and some different evergreens, but the other side that we were on had some camellias. And I love this part right here. This is an old chimney that was part of the house that was on this property before they bought it. And the structure is no longer there, but they kept the foundation. There's my husband, he's in the shot. Anyway, they kept the foundation of the home and kind of made it into an outdoor patio or entertainment space. And it really is so neat. I love the stonework on this chimney. My dad would have loved this chimney with all the rock and different things on it. My dad was a brick mason, by the way, so he really enjoyed looking at old structures and things, the way they were built. But I love this little area with this table and this outdoor chimney. I really love the way this outdoor chimney is the center of this whole little space back here. And look how the colors of this little wood that goes around is kind of like a reddish brown. It looks so good with this green planter here, and it brings out the color of the stone in this fireplace. And it kind of also blends in really well with the barn. Color is so important, and I've learned so much about using color from visiting different gardens, looking at their hardscaping. You know, there's a lot of people that are better at garden design and, you know, home decor design for that matter than I am. But I've learned a ton by just talking to different people and seeing what they've done and picking up things I like, and I adapt it to my own style. And that is what I hope that all of you can do too. I hope that you find some inspiration from visiting these different gardeners' properties, and I just love doing it, so I hope you guys enjoy it too. And then back there where that tree line is, that's where the goats live. And they keep all of that area cleared. You might not know this, but goats actually love poison ivy, and they will just eat it and keep your property cleared of poison ivy. So Kathy and John have a great little setup there with those goats. And look at this shot right here with the barn in the background. It is so pretty, and the forest behind it. We got lucky on this day because it was a little bit overcast and it stayed a bit cooler. But now we're going to travel along this little woodland border here and enjoy the pond. And I'm going to take you by the chicken coop and show you the chickens here. And after we see the chickens, we're going to head into the barn, and I'm going to show you all of the neat things that are in there and some of Kathy's artwork and some of her pottery. I really like the design of this chicken coop. I've heard about these panels that they use for their roof, and you can use them for a greenhouse, to build a greenhouse. They also have some clear plexiglass kind of ones. The metal obviously works really well, but it just looks really great on a chicken coop. And I like the way this is a custom build, and it's a good size. They did a great job. There's a little birdhouse back here with a great view of the pond. I think I would definitely be living there if I was a bird. All right, so here we go to the barn. Last but definitely not least, that's for sure. So they designed this entire flower bed themselves, but they did have some help with these boulders and giant rocks that were brought in. Then they have some Fire Chief Arborvitae, which are going to be a nice red color this fall. They have those again here. Some Creeping Jenny, some evergreens in the back that kind of have like a pillar type structure, and all kinds of good things. They've got some chairs in the back so they can sit there and look out from the other direction across the property. And then we're going to head on in. I'm going to show you what's inside. And once again, this barn was built from pine trees that were actually taken down on this property. So in a way, this barn has always been there. And then on the walls of the barn, as you're walking through it, are lots of different artifacts and farm antiques, I guess you could say, that Kathy has collected through the years. And I love stuff like this. This is stuff that you can't go down and pick up at the Target or the home goods store. This is stuff that has been used before. It tells a story, and I love repurposing things like this and making it into art. And don't get me wrong, there is nothing wrong with home goods. I like home goods myself, and I love to have different things in my house that are blended with things like this that really mean something and that have a story and that are unique, that you just can't find anywhere. And then inside, right through this door, we have Kathy's art studio. And in here, she's got some absolutely amazing paintings that she's done all by herself. Lots of them have a lot of a spiritual meaning. I really enjoyed hearing the stories behind them, and it made the paintings even more just beautiful to hear the stories behind them. And then also she's got pottery. She is helping her granddaughters right now. They are making some fairy houses with this pottery that you're seeing, and I think that is just so darling. And they really did a great job with these pieces. I think they did a lot better than I would probably do. Another beautiful painting up here of a dog and a girl. This one is incredible. I really love the detail in it. And this one right here with the oak tree and the tire swing is really special too. Now upstairs, they have the barn. It's kind of like a barn loft, and it's an air-conditioned space. By the way, her studio downstairs has AC too. But this is a great space to have guests stay, or if you had older children living, on a property and you could turn your upper level of a barn or second structure into something like this, this would really be a neat space for them too. And it's very rustic, but very comfortable and cozy. And I really love how they created this. All right, guys, and that is it for today's video. If you liked what you saw, we would love for you to subscribe to our channel. Give us a thumbs up, leave me a comment, let me know what is going on and what you loved about this garden. And I will see you back here next time in the next video right here at the Real Southern Garden. And thank you once again to John and Kathy.